In the last video about special routes, I was trying to explain about progression and how it progressed from easier to more difficult, and the examples were this plague bear sewer and the ash sewer. But I don't feel like I really explained what is it that makes this easy and the ash sewers more difficult. So I'm going to try to talk about that. And this puzzle is very simplistic, and it's because it's deterministic. You do something, and something simple happens every time. And it even goes further than that in that they protect the player from even screwing that up if possible. So what's simple is sort of like simple switch of a light, except you can't screw it up because you turn this and that opens the near gate and this opens the far gate, and then you can leave. We see that both of these gates are open now and we can swim down through there and escape. But and we had talked about this before in the DD series about their benevolence and how they want the player, as much as, and in a lot of cases, not as much as possible, but in a lot of cases they try to protect the player from mistakes. And in this case, this is a super simple because you can't even, they take it out of your hands to screw up, because you can't open them and close them and open them and close them and miss that they've become open. So that's super simple. But in terms of the ash sewers, I guess maybe we should go there. So in terms of the ash sewers, what makes this more complicated? Well, partially it's this idea of the train going by. So the train goes by. Boom. But if the train only went by one time, then there would be no clue that this was a puzzle. Or in my mind, the clue is that the train going by the second time is the clue that there's a puzzle here. So hopefully we've waited long enough. I think I have not. There we go. So that's the clue that there's a puzzle. And then when we see the guy that's standing on the very middle of the tracks, that's our last clue that there's a puzzle here, and he's sort of stuck there. And so the idea is that there's nothing physical. It's kind of, you have to make an intuitive leap to understand that there's a puzzle here. There's no handle, there's nothing to pull, and nothing obvious. So that's quite more complex and a higher function. And the other thing that makes this more complex is that it's not deterministic. It's like a game of cards. So you do this and you have a chance that the train will run over him. So, and the last thing that makes this more difficult is that it's a black box problem, in that you have a set of inputs and you mess with those inputs and you keep trying, and it's like learning a card game by playing it. You don't know the rules. You have a black box and you have inputs, and you have to learn how the box works by just manipulating the inputs and seeing what the outputs are. So again, that's quite an intuitive leap that a person has to make in applying deductive reasoning. So all of those things go to make this more complex and more advanced, I guess. And the last thing is there's no XP here. There's no bonus. This isn't the easiest way to do it. So that is sort of like altruism. You just do this because you're interested in, and it's fun. There's no, you're not doing it because you're getting something out of it. You're just doing it because it's here and you can solve this and it's fun. But all of that makes this puzzle quite special above all others. And as I said, in this video, we're just going to go over some clues, and that will be just, we'll leave puzzles like this and we'll just go back to the more standard, run-of-the-mill, everyday, mundane. And the first place we will be going is to the Dane. In the first video of this series in the Plaguebearer sewers, I talked about how the way the developers primarily communicate their hints about these and post signposts and markers for these special routes is by asymmetry. So what we're looking for as far as hints and that give us the track of these special routes and the way to understand these special routes and to decode them, deconstruct them, is by looking for things that are odd. And in the DD series, I had touched on the first of these oddities, which are these silent doors, which is completely odd because it takes you back, because you wouldn't think a door would be silent when none of these are. And so that's your who's there? That's a classic. They can hear me. They can't see me, but they can hear me, which is why they do that. Anyway, so that's our first kind of interesting point of it. This is marking a special route, and if we talk to the person, maybe we should go talk to him. Now we've done it before. He tells us to come to, to go down the stairs, and then we're supposed to go down gangway A, and then up the stairs, and on the left will be the security room. And we go up the stairs, and this is also a silent door. Again, marking our route. But some people might wonder why this is a silent door. And because you could go out. I can't go down the stairs. You could go out this way, and then it would lead you to the same way. So why is this part of the special route? And we'll look at that. And it's kind of the reason we are here is the one of the things also, aside from it is asymmetry again. And the asymmetry is they'll put these sections that are one way, and they'll be demarked in some way as being one way, and so they're trying to communicate that they want you to go here. Also, there was that monkey wrench up there that we could throw. That might also be a clue for you, but you can't go back the same way you came is the clue here. And again, asymmetry, it's a one-way deal for you. Same thing, one way. Can't climb the stairs. We can't go back the way we came. We're all just always going forward one way. And these people back here, they started a conversation. And that's another thing that is kind of a common thing is so we're still on our one-way thing, and we're circling around, and we're circling around, and that's another key is like these cops, these NPCs are triggered to, they're deterministic in the way that they move, and that they won't move if you're on a special route. In a lot of cases, they won't move until you come to them. But if you're not on a special route, they'll just be patrolling, randomly patrolling, and more one-wayedness here, in that we're going in the direction that they want us, but it's not a two-way thing. It's just we only can go one way. So this is the answer to why they want you. The upper door is silent, and because if you get this key, if you go out the lower door, this key becomes useless. There's no use for it because you've already unlocked the door that this key is for. And so if you don't go out the top door, there's no use for that key, and you're pretty much guaranteed you're not on the special route. You're just winging it on your own, which is no issues with that. That's not a problem. But now this door is locked, but we have the key for it because we went out the top door. So anyway, that's an explanation of some symmetry and why these doors are marked the way they are. And now we know that squeaks, so we're no longer on our special route. We're done with the whole thing. This is just everyday leaving. We've made our way to Grout's mansion to discuss this idea of one-wayedness and or one-way paths on a special route. And one of the things I've done here is I've trapped these two ghouls in this room here using these doors, which is a fun thing to do, and I'll leave that as an exercise. But an interesting thing about Grout's mansion and special routes, sort of in general, special routes, you may have noticed up till now, this special routes aren't marked in any way by these sparkly things, these inspection nodes, but this door is part of a special route, and is marked with the sparkly. And the reason it's marked with the sparkly is because they're using that as a mechanic to tell you that this is a one-way route. This little path here is a one-way. It's intended to be one-way. So they mark the beginning of the one-way with those sparklies, and then they leave the other end unmarked. And again, we're back to the idea of asymmetry. And by that, they want to communicate to the player that this is a one-way route. So by going through this, you skip the combat with those. You can skip the combat with those people down there if you just go through this upper walkway. It's a way to skip all of this stuff down here. And in the DD series, I went through the complete special route from the beginning to the end, at least the parts that I knew. And so one of the kind of unique things about, or interesting things about this map, is something that we covered last time, where I said, all of the sparklies in this map are to help the player get through the map. And when we pick up with the DD, we'll talk about that some more. And there's some new things I've learned. And as far as the sparkly or the inspection nodes go, their design is also implemented in a symmetrical way. So I'll talk about that when we pick up with DD again. But as I said, anytime you see a sparkly, not anytime, but in this case, if you see a sparkly on one end of a passage but not the other, that's telling you it's part of a special route, and the sparkly marks the beginning. So the logic here is that if you were to come through this door, and go through it, if you were using this door as your entrance, and you'd be going through it backwards, because you would have already had to come through these ghouls and to get to this point. So you're just going backwards on the intended purpose for that shortcut there. And our next stop, we're going to go all the way to Chinatown. And here we are in Chinatown at the temple. And I've done several videos on this map and these sections. And one of the interesting things about this, we're pretty far in the game, And as I said, we progress through the game. These special routes become more abstract and take more intuitive leaps and more black box-ish, where there's not something obvious to push or pull. There's not levers and things. It's takes more deduction and trying things and seeing what happens. But this is something that I've said in a previous playthrough, is when you see these cans on the ground, they're not necessarily there for the purpose of stealth and throwing them like in the tutorial. In most cases, they're just there to, as the inspection node was in Grout's area, it's just marking this map section as having a special route or something special for the player to be on the lookout for. And this is one of the more interesting and special routes, in that it's quite long and it's quite complex, and the special route and the regular route diverge and converge multiple times, which is pretty fun. And then when we go to Venture Tower, we'll have that same idea of the special route and the standard route will converge and diverge multiple times. And again, that's one of the consistencies of this game design is, as I said, it gets more complex as you go toward the end. And so these ideas of more complexity are carried forward usually from one map to the next. So, and as I said in the first series of this, if it's kind of important, if you're wanting to do these special routes, to try to follow along, because they keep, building upon each other, and then the next one's going to be different, and you pick up a little clue here, a little clue there. So, and there's also a lot, not a lot, there's something to be said about the inspection nodes here as well. But we'll get to part of that. But the rest of that will be for the DD series. And so here that we see that this asymmetry comes in again, in that you're always looking for these doors and weird things. So the weird thing here is this door has handles and this door doesn't. There are these locked handles at least, and they're both locked, but they're not symmetrical. And so that what that's telling you is that on this side is the beginning of the special route, and on this side is the beginning of the regular route. And if that's the design. And as I said, in the first video of the DD, I just love the consistency of this design, and some people misunderstood what I meant by consistency, and I meant the consistency of this idea of the asymmetry and how it's carried out in the small details, the really intricate and great details that this game has. As that inspection node that was one way, that's the kind of asymmetry and details. But also in the first video I talked about how I think it's a mistake to try to force like some kind of physical logic. Oh, this doesn't make sense that these would be locked and it doesn't have handles. That's really, I think, a mistake to try to enforce that kind of idea anywhere in the game, because the game just wasn't made that way. Anyway, we can't proceed here, so I'll have to come back once we've hit actually not talking to Ming but the end game. So I will do that. So this is our special route, and one of the things that you can another one of the kind of telltale signs of a special route is you'll have these NPCs and they'll be scripted so that they'll always be out of your way if you're on the special route. Well, so we can see with our aspects, we'll be able to see that with one of these people here. And we won't, I can't see it now, but beyond this door, kind of where my cursor is pointing, is an NPC that, and as soon as I open this door, he'll begin his movement. There he goes. And he's just moving so that he's out of the way, and our path is around this rock, and so he'll never accidentally be patrolling towards us. Although that isn't guaranteed. Sometimes they're free roaming and sometimes they are scripted like that, but when they're scripted like that, you can be certain that that's part of a special route. And then here's another silent door, the same as on the Dane. And this is just another, the reason it's silent is just to mark this as being on the special route. And if we come over here to this door, we'll have noise because it's part of the standard route. Yeah. And again, we come to the locked doors. Aha, I knew that. And in this case, there is a person, and he's patrolling. So, and he won't be. That person isn't scripted, but so the special route and the standard route have diverged, and as I said, this will happen in the Ventry Tower as well. And as they come together in this corridor again, so the front door is part of the standard route, and again, the locked door is marking our special route. And then there's a person that's patrolling up and down this hallway. And I don't know if he's patrolling. I don't know if he's there. But the idea is you can come out, and I have done this in another video. If you want, you can come out and you can hide behind these pillars. And hiding behind the pillar is the same mechanic we saw in the Grout's mansion. If you saw in the DD series, the walkthrough of that. So either way, it doesn't matter if you go right or left here, because as long as you haven't been detected and you're still doing the special route, this person will just stay there stationary, and you can backstab him if you want to go the other way. Like going left or right here is identical. And the same, we're still on the same path, converged here. Wow, I could see it and I still hit it. Nice. And now we're going to diverge again. This is, again, diverging into the standard route. And this way is our special route. And here's where I wanted to come to. This is a kind of another interesting one of those inspection nodes that's a one-way thing. The reason is because this hallway is only one way as well. If you come this way, you're locked. You can't go through this way ever, so you're forced to go through this way. And there's no inspection node on that. And that you're forced to go this way because what they want you to find is this fake panel here. And again, this is kind of part of their benevolence thing, in that they put that trap there, and that you're supposed to be forced to come this way because they really want you to find this. And this is another one of those things where I think it's a crime that people say don't use inspection except to find objects, because again, a lot of these inspection nodes are here to help you understand the map. You just have to keep your inspection high enough. And then we want to go through this one, and we see that that one is not marked. And the reason that we want to do this is we can come up to this, we can sneak up to this guy here. And then if he hasn't been alerted by our noisiness, it looks like he may have been alerted. Yeah, I think he has. Well, anyway, I'll leave that as an exercise. Is he coming? He might be coming. Yeah, he just took, so he'll come over here. And again, you know, as I said, if you're looking for these to be some kind of physical reality game, I think you're making a mistake, because we just warped through that without breaking it. But so it's just the beginning of this hallway is marked, because this hallway only serves one purpose, and that purpose is to get through here stealthily, and then it's up to you to figure out that it goes all the way through. If you're going through it in the reverse order, then you know you're not supposed to be able to get through this ever. So if you're going through it in the reverse order, it means that you've already come through this door, and there's no point in going through it in the reverse order. And I believe that's everything I wanted to talk about here. And I'm not sure what our next stop is. I'll have to do some thinking, but I'll see you there. Freeze. So this is the start of the final section we're going to visit, and I don't believe there's anything new here, but we're just going to go through this to show some more of the ideas that are repeated to reinforce them. And I don't have no target on this time, but I have made videos of this before. Multiple, actually, videos of this. Of course, I've learned things since then. I believe it's just the elevator you're hearing.
Someone there?
Hopefully that wasn't horrible in the mic. This is another case where the special route and the standard route diverge and converge multiple times. These doors over here. These doors over here would be the I believe this person is free patrolling. I never checked that out. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's triggered by something. I think he's just free patrolling. And then the new twist on this is that there's subparts to the special route in that I can tell there's a person there. His shadow is through the wall. Anyway, so this is a subpart of the special route because it's a locked door, and we can tell it's a subpart in that it's locked at 8. And then if you want to do the full special route, this one is the beginning for the full special route. And they each have, well, we're going to do this full special because that's cool, I think. Can I do that? I didn't. Failed. All right, well, how about this then? There we go. I'm not sure, there's a person here that's patrolling. And as I said, the one of the hallmarks of these special routes is that if you, and I said this is the full special route here. So one of the hallmarks is that you'll see these NPCs are scripted to move only when you're approaching. So he begins his movement there, and that lets us come around the back here. And we're in full darkness, and we can just slip by him. And again, we have another NPC here that won't begin moving until we open that door. And there's an NPC in the hallway here. We can't see through there, but when we open this door, he'll again begin moving away from us and scooting down the hall. And we couldn't see that. So if we follow him, that's on our standard route path, and this would be our special route path again because this is the locked door. Aha. And then that door over there is unlocked again because that's part of the standard route. I'm getting confused. So this is all on the same path here. There's only one way through this, so the standard and the special are the same. And then this is part of the special route, although anybody can use it. It's not exclusive. And this is, I don't know, this is just here because the inspection node there, I believe, is just because too many people missed that. So this is another place where they're going to diverge, and this door is the beginning of the standard route, and this door is the beginning or the continuation of the special route. Then again, this is another one of those details where this person is waiting there stationary, and he won't begin his movement until we open this door. And that way we kind of have time to, did he detect us? I think he did. We might have needed to use blood buff there. Can we sneak up on him? And so we know that, actually, we didn't know that this was the continuation of the special route until we got here. I believe this is an 8 as well. Yeah. So this is a continuation of the special route from here. And if you couldn't do the full special route, then you could have done that sub entry to the special route and continued from here. But it's kind of another professional detail is that if you're able to enter the special route at the beginning, then you know you can complete it because the hardest lock is at the beginning. And I'm not going to continue any further. I think it kind of everybody should get the point. Hopefully that that these locked doors and unlocked doors and doors with different handles, 5 doors have the same handle and one is missing it, or all of those kind of oddities that I pointed out. That's the way that Troika communicates with players about these special routes, and the stationary NPCs, you can check for those. Those are another indication that it's part of a special route. The tuna cans indicate that the map has a special route. And I can't think of anything else right now. I think my voice is starting to go, so I think that will be it from me, and thank you for watching.